This is the story of one of Nigeria's most fearless leaders, General Murtala Ramat Mohammed. A soldier, a reformer, a man who burned with energy and passion for his country. His life was short, his rule even shorter, but his death changed Nigeria forever. To understand how he died, we must first understand who he was, and the times in which he lived. Murtala Mohammed was born on November 8, 1938, in Kano, into a Fulani family with deep Islamic roots. From an early age, he was bold, disciplined, and determined. His teachers described him as restless, full of energy, and unwilling to be silenced. After completing his education at Berewa College, he joined the Nigerian Army in 1958. Like many young men of his time, he was inspired by the spirit of independence that was sweeping through Africa. He trained at the prestigious Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, in England, and returned to Nigeria as one of the bright young officers of the newly independent nation. Murtala quickly gained a reputation for courage. He fought in the Nigerian Civil War, 1967 to 1970, commanding troops with confidence and fearlessness. By the end of the war, he was known as a man who never backed down from a challenge, but also one who was impatient with corruption and indecisiveness. In July 1975, a group of officers staged a bloodless coup that removed General Yakubu Gowon from power. The military believed Gowon had overstayed, and they wanted a new face, a fresh energy. The choice fell on Brigadier Murtala Mohammed. When he addressed the nation for the first time as head of state, his words were sharp, fiery, and full of determination. Nigerians immediately felt something different about him. He spoke directly, without fear, and he acted quickly. Within months, he announced a plan to move Nigeria's capital from Lagos to Abuja. Carried out sweeping civil service reforms, retiring thousands of officials accused of corruption or inefficiency. Launched programs to improve schools, roads, and the economy. Took a bold stand in Africa's politics, especially supporting liberation struggles in Angola and southern Africa. In just 200 days, Murtala Mohammed had become a leader loved by ordinary Nigerians. He was simple, straightforward, and disciplined. Unlike many African rulers of his time, he refused to live in luxury. He drove himself around in a black Mercedes-Benz, often without heavy escorts. He wanted to show that a leader should not hide behind soldiers. But his simplicity would also make him vulnerable. While Nigerians loved him, not everyone in the military was happy. Some officers felt he was moving too fast. Others were angry because his reforms had forced them into retirement. Among them was Lieutenant Colonel Buka Dimka, a middle-ranking officer with ambition and resentment. Dimka and his co-conspirators began to plan a coup. Their opportunity came in February 1976. They knew Murtala's routine. They knew his car, his route, and his weakness. He refused to move with a convoy of armored vehicles. It was an ordinary Lagos morning. The sun rose over the bustling city, and General Murtala Mohammed left his residence in Ikoyi. He was heading to Dodon Barracks, the seat of government. In the front seat was his driver. Beside him sat his aide-de-camp, Lieutenant Akintunde Kinsahinwa, a young officer fiercely loyal to him. Murtala himself sat calmly in the back, dressed in his usual military uniform, without fear, without bulletproof protection. As his Mercedes-Benz car approached the Ikoyi Bridge traffic junction, something unexpected happened. Traffic had slowed. His car was forced to stop briefly. It was then that Dimka's men struck. From a nearby car, armed soldiers leapt out, their rifles ready. In seconds, they unleashed a hail of bullets at Murtala's car. Bullets shattered the windshield, tore through the doors, and rained inside. The head of state had no chance. He was hit multiple times and slumped in his seat. His aide, Lieutenant Akinsahinwa, bravely tried to return fire, but he too was cut down instantly. The attack lasted only moments, but it was brutal. By the time silence returned, Nigeria's head of state lay dead. The assassins sped away, leaving chaos in their wake. Soon after, Lieutenant Colonel Dimka seized Radio Nigeria. His voice shook the nation as he announced that the government of General Murtala Mohammed had been overthrown. But the coup was poorly organized. Many top commanders remained loyal to Murtala's government. Within hours, they regrouped, secured key locations, and resisted Dimka's men. The coup collapsed almost as quickly as it began. Dimka tried to escape, but he was eventually captured. After a military tribunal, he was executed by firing squad later that year. When news of Murtala Mohammed's death spread, Nigeria was plunged into grief. Crowds gathered in Lagos, weeping and cursing the assassins. Radio stations played solemn music. Newspapers carried black borders in mourning. He was only 37 years old, young, energetic, and just beginning to make his mark. Nigerians asked, "Why must our brightest leaders be taken so soon?" His burial was swift, in line with Islamic tradition. Tens of thousands mourned across the country. The government declared days of mourning, and the entire nation fell silent. Though his rule lasted only 200 days, Murtala Mohammed left a deep mark. His civil service reforms shook Nigeria's bureaucracy and set new standards of accountability. His plan for a new capital city eventually gave birth to Abuja, today the heart of Nigeria. His bold foreign policy made Nigeria a respected voice in Africa. His simple lifestyle and refusal to be corrupt became a model for leadership. In his honor, the Lagos International Airport was renamed Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Streets, schools, and monuments bear his name across Nigeria. More importantly, his memory lives in the hearts of Nigerians as a symbol of what true leadership could be: short, but impactful. Even today, Nigerians often ask, what if Murtala Mohammed had lived longer? Would he have transformed Nigeria into a stronger, more disciplined nation? Would he have prevented the years of corruption and decline that followed? We will never know. But what we do know is this: on February 13, 1976, Nigeria lost more than a man. It lost a dream.